Alright, what we're going to be talking about is, like I said, it's probably one of the single most important concepts we're going to learn this year, because this year is all about past tense, and that's what we're going to be talking about. There are two past tenses in Spanish, okay? We have two past tenses in English, but we don't learn it that way, okay? But in Spanish, it's a little more specific. And the two past tenses are the preterite tense and the imperfect tense. Today, we're going to be talking about the preterite tense. Of regular AR verbs. Okay. Now, does anybody know what the preterite tense is? Have you ever heard of it? Probably not. Okay. The two types of past tenses they have. The preterite tense is also known as the simple past tense, and that's really what it is. It's just explaining that something happened. Okay. It's a simple past tense. The imperfect tense in Spanish is what that explains is what was happening or what used to happen. Okay. Go to the beach all the time when I was little. I was walking. Preterite tense is just an event, something happened. I spoke with my teacher. Past tense, simple. Okay, and that's what we're going to be talking about. Now, we're only going to be dealing with the AR verbs today. And before we get started with that, we got to understand conjugating these verbs is just like conjugating present tense verbs. As far as you need to drop the ending and match the new ending with the correct pronoun. To remind us, for our regular AR verb endings, in present tense, if it's in the yo form, the I form, we drop the AR, and what do we add? We normally will add an O. Okay? In the to form, we drop the AR and add AS, us. In the LA usted form, we normally drop the AR, and what do we add? Nosotros, we will drop the AR and add Amos, and ellos, ellas, ustedes, we drop the AR and add and. This is your regular present tense. Okay. We're going to be talking about the preterite tense. If you don't know or understand conjugating present tense verbs very well, you really will want to know that and study it before, because this is the same concept, but it confuses you with all new endings, and that's what you have to learn, new endings here. So our present tense of our regular AR, the preterite tense of our regular AR verbs, okay, in the yo form, you'll drop the O and you add the letter E with an accent on it. Okay, so again, it's different than what we're used to. In the to form, you'll drop the AR and you add ASTE, aste. In the LA usted form, you'll drop the AR and you add O with an accent on top. In the nosotros form, you'll drop the AR and add AMOS, amos. And in the ellos, ellas, ustedes form, you'll drop the AR and add ARON, aro. Take a look. What do you notice between the preterite endings and the present endings? They're different, but there are similarities too. What do we notice? What's the first thing you see? Amos. Nosotros is exactly the same in the present tense as it is in the preterite tense. So there's something you can think of. What else do you see? If I were to say, try to learn this, what would you look at? What would you kind of figure? What?
A or the E.
What about it?
Singular like the O.
Okay, these are just letters by themselves?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever notice, does anybody notice, what were you going to say?
On aste, it has as on it.
Okay, you know, it took me years to figure that, to finally realize that. It is kind of the same as the present tense, but then just add te at the end of it. So there's a similarity with the two forms. Just think of hablaste.
So that's like R instead of R on?
That's kind of in the infinitive, it just add on at the end of the ellos. Okay, hablar on.
Okay, I'm trying to get this te on.
There you go. You have, did anybody notice that it's kind of like these two almost switch?
Yeah.
The O is up here, but now it's down here. And then even though this isn't an A, it's still kind of, it almost looks more like an LA usted form. That's how I learned it. I just went, oh, it's like the yo and the L switch. But then you have to change the letter. Okay? And again, it sounds confusing, but that's what worked for me. And so whatever works for you. Now, just to illustrate, we're going to use a verb just to to see it's done. What verb should we use? A regular AR verb. Hablar, okay. I guess we'll use hablar. That's our verb. What does it mean? To talk. Alright. So, when we conjugate it in the preterite, we maintain our stem. The stem stays the same. So what's our stem in this case? Apple. Right?
That's Gucci.
Now, with our pronouns, we have our yo form. Okay? So we have yo, and what is it going to be? Yo hablé. Now notice the accents on the E there. So it's going to be hablé. What does that mean? I is talked a word. Spoke. Alright. I spoke. Or I talked. You can write that as well. In the to form, okay? You spoke. Tu hablaste. Again, it's like tu hablas, hey, which means you spoke. Okay, él, usted, what's it going to be? It's going to be habló, which means he or she, or you formal, spoke. Okay. Nosotros is going to be, there's no difference, okay? Hablamos, which is, we spoke. And finally, ellos, ellas, ustedes, what is it? Hablaron, which means they or you all spoke. Okay? Now notice the accent, so it does change it. It's not hable, it's hablé. It's not hablo, it's habló. Other than that, hablaste, hablamos, no change, and hablamos. That is your regular preterite tense AR verbs. Are there any questions about that?